That man was beyond his years.
Mansa Musa?
Mansa Musa. All right. In the Kita dynasty, which were Mandinka people who are now part of the Nigerian area. All right. They also flutter into Benin and Togo, the Yoruba culture. It's so much to that we don't really understand. We don't really comprehend at all. We stop at a certain place. I represent Africa, but I don't represent tribes and huts. You know what I mean? That's not our history. That is our fallen brothers who had to pick up where, they could pick up because they didn't have the rest of the equipment that they needed in order to rebuild their cities. That's their story. That's Africa's story. And they have a completely different story than ours when it came from post-Mali Fall Empire. You know what I mean? Through that 1600 and up, they had their own battles that they had to do, which is why the Zulu tribe defeated the British army because of guerrilla warfare and everything like that. They defeated them with spears and knives, and the British still had guns. They had arsenals. They backed down. We don't talk about these stories.
I had no idea about that. The Zulu tribe actually defeated the British.
Yeah. Shaka Zulu, in his warfare, he basically developed the tactics for guerrilla warfare. If you take it into consideration, he took a long spear and he shortened it to a close combat short spear that they call it the ikwak or something like that, to the point that they're like jab into their enemies and turn it and pull it back out. Like, he developed close hand-to-hand combat with that African culture. He was like, no, we coming up close. We gonna give them their shields. We gonna give them these short spears, and we gonna come up close. We gonna lure them into areas where they can't run. Because if we too far, they got the opportunity to get us. But if they too close, it doesn't matter. Even in modern day fighting today, if somebody pull out a gun, if you a certain amount of meters away from them, pull out the knife, it's gonna be more effective. Because you can get to him faster than he can pull that trigger. But a lot of people don't take that into consideration. The tactics and our culture has been taken from us, basically, and been used for the advantage of everything else. And it's not the first time. You know what I mean? It sure ain't the last. America took German culture after they won World War II. Where do you think we got the tanks from? Or the new modern day planes? You know what I mean? The Tiger tank that we have, one of the largest bezels on that bitch that fires that 50 cal or higher, that higher bullet or caliber, you want to say, was a German design. It was the same tank that took out all the British and American tanks that was trying to attack them. That one tank alone could take out 5 to 6 tanks because of the way it was built. It was massive. You know what I mean? He literally said, what's the doggone Nazi Germany? Hitler literally asked him to take a gun from off a doggone boat that they have for their navy. He said, put this on a vehicle that can go by land, and made his engineers do it. And they literally took that boy off a boat, and that's what created the Tiger tank. It was heavy, it was slow, but it was thick and powerful. Like, shells would bounce off that bitch like, phoom. The only way they can defeat it is because they had to hit it from the back because there was less metal back there. It's a whole movie on it. What's the name made a movie on it called Fury? They took these designs. When you talk about modern day jets, modern day delivery systems of bombs, Navy approaches, Navy warfare, bunker building, that shit came from the Nazis. The only reason they lost is because Hitler was an idiot and he used all his resources way too fast. If he would have held at bay where he was at and not kept slamming his soldiers at it, he would have won that war. Like, we don't understand how lucky we got. But because he kept going and using all of his resources, that's the reason why he lost that war.
Do you think that it may have been some type of backdoor treaty conversation? Because the technology that the Nazis were able to harness and utilize, I mean, there's writings that Hitler was into the occult, that he actually had expeditions up into Antarctica, which is where all the countries are. They have a treaty of today that's blocking regular civilians to go, I guess, unless you have some type of clearance. Mm-hmm. So And then there's also speak of after the war, many Nazi scientists were brought into America and brought into South America as well.
Yep. This is one thing that we fail to really understand, and this is why I'm more fond of this version of belief versus Christianity version of belief.
Could you hold that a little higher, please?
Because beforehand I used to be heavy on the Christianity belief, and I don't think we understand or realize how much an influence the philosophers and ideologers of Rome actually was. Okay, I mean the Gospels were written at the same time Rome defeated Jerusalem. All right, so in that same time period where Rome and Jerusalem was in warfare, the 4 Gospels were being written. And they wasn't finished written until after Rome won the war. Now, we all know even in Christianity believes Rome is the ones that killed Jesus. However, Rome is the one who institutionalized the first Roman Catholic Church. It didn't start off as an independent Christian church. It's the Roman Catholic Church. Even to this day, they have took it down off Google. You cannot get a direct date of when the Roman Catholic Church actually started. Let's go back. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not just powerful because of the forces of people that it had. Rome was powerful because of its strategics. Rome was a thinking company. Well, not a thinking company, but a thinking government. It was based off philosophies. It was based off tactics, mental